I looked like my father. I had my father's very large ears.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at celebrities who took huge secrets to the grave, some of which would be revealed after their passing.
At that time, of course, a source close to Hudson indicated to me that he had about 2 months to live, and that was 61 days ago.
Freddie Mercury. In November 1991, Freddie Mercury confirmed what many had suspected for years. The Queen frontman was HIV positive and had AIDS. A day after the statement was issued, Mercury passed away.
He'd known for 2 years that he had AIDS, but had kept it quiet, living the life of a recluse in his £5 million mansion in West London, where fans have been paying their tributes.
Although his illness had become public knowledge, there was still one secret that Mercury decided to keep between himself and his former life partner, Mary Austin, his final resting place.
He'd given himself a limit, and I think, personally, that when he couldn't record anymore or have the energy to do that anymore, then it would be the end.
Mercury asked Austin to bury his cremated remains somewhere private. According to Austin, this is because he didn't want anyone trying to dig him up. Austin honored Mercury's wishes, carrying his ashes in a plastic bag to a mystery location. You can ask Mercury's fellow Queen members and family, but Austin is reportedly the only living person who knows where Mercury resides. Coco Chanel. Chanel remains a prominent beauty brand, although its namesake's ties to Nazi Germany cast a dark shadow over the company's legacy.
Many biographies do mention how Coco Chanel is known to have Nazi connections, in particular her relationship with a Nazi officer during World War II.
During her lifetime, it wasn't exactly a secret that Coco Chanel had a relationship with Hans Gunther von Dinklage, who reportedly collaborated with Nazis. What wasn't as well known is that Chanel herself was a Nazi agent, working for the intelligence company Sicherheitsdienst.
It is an honor to be invited as your guest.
She not only answered to Walter Schellenberg, one of the agency's leading figures, but Chanel supposedly had an affair with him. She was also linked to Operation Modelhut, a failed attempt to negotiate peace between Germany and Britain. Avoiding prison, Chanel mostly managed to keep her Nazi connections under wraps. But recently, declassified documents have presented her in a very different light.
Did you hear what I just said? They suspect me of collaborating. Can't possibly go to Berlin.
Chadwick Boseman. Various celebrities have privately faced fatal illnesses, although few deaths blindsided the public like Chadwick Boseman's. Following several acclaimed performances, Boseman landed his most high-profile role as T'Challa in the MCU.
Now, I learned from my enemies. Beat them at their own game. You have become them. You will destroy the world, Wakanda included.
The same year Boseman made his MCU debut, he was diagnosed with colon cancer. Boseman didn't slow down, headlining the billion-dollar Black Panther while finding time for other projects.
Oh, come on, Levy, we was all just having fun. Toledo ain't said nothing about you, he ain't said about me. You just taking it all wrong.
It meant nothing bad, Levy. Levy got to be Levy. You don't need nobody messing with him about the white. You don't know nothing about me. You don't know, Levy. You don't know nothing about what kind of blood I got.
Behind the scenes, though, his cancer was advancing. Only a small group was entrusted with Boseman's secret. Even directors like Ryan Coogler and Spike Lee didn't realize what Boseman was going through.
We've been dying for this country from the very get, hoping one day they give us our rightful place.
The world found out under the most tragic circumstances when Boseman succumbed to his illness in 2020. Like a superhero with a secret identity, Boseman continued to inspire, even while enduring personal battles. Bob Crane. Best known for playing Colonel Robert on Hogan's Heroes, Bob Crane met a violent end in 1978.
I was called in the mid-afternoon after the body was discovered.
Crane's friend, John Henry Carpenter, was accused of the murder, although he'd ultimately be acquitted. While his murders remain unsolved, a secret side of Crane's life would be exposed in the process. Crane had a vast collection of explicit photos and videos that he made with his partners.
There was video equipment all over the living room. There was videotapes laying about.
The actor was open about his sex obsession with friends, colleagues, and even certain family members. To the public, though, he maintained a fairly clean image. It's unclear if Crane's murder was connected to his sexual activities, which Carpenter was well aware of. In any case, the revelations about Crane's sex life proved nearly as shocking as his death.
Bob Crane ain't a loser. It's you who brought Bob Crane down. Bob Crane is a good guy.
Gene Spangler. Lending a few bit movie parts, Jean Spangler was just getting her feet wet when she mysteriously disappeared in 1949. Last seen at a grocery store, Spangler was supposed to meet with her ex-husband and work on set, according to her sister-in-law. While their body was never uncovered, the authorities found her torn purse in the park with a note reading, "Kirk, can't wait any longer, going to see Dr. Scott." Some suspected Kirk might be Kirk Douglas, who starred in a film Spangler worked on.
I'm not gonna be tied down to anybody or anything. From now on, I'm playing it my way.
Douglas claimed he barely knew Spangler, however. Spangler was allegedly 3 months pregnant, possibly seeking an illegal abortion from the enigmatic Dr. Scott. Whatever Spangler was up to, any chance of getting an answer likely died with her.
The nature of her disappearance has made it difficult for the police to pinpoint exactly what happened to her on that night in 1949.
Charles Lindberg. This famed aviator was at the center of a media circus when his firstborn son, Charles Jr., was kidnapped and murdered.
As he did when the baby disappeared, he shuts down his emotions and buries himself in the facts.
Lindberg went on to have more children, some hidden from the public eye. While he was married to fellow pilot Anne Morrow, Lindberg had affairs with 3 European women, 2 of whom were sisters.
He gave Brigida, Marietta, and Valeska a P.O. box, where all 3 sent their letters. For security reasons, he constantly changed this P.O. box.
Over a roughly 10-year period, Lindberg fathered 7 children with his mistresses. Shortly before his death, Lindberg implored the 3 women not to reveal the true parentage of their children. The mothers kept the secret, although one of Lindberg's illegitimate daughters eventually connected the dots. She sat on this information for years, but went public with Lindberg's double life after her mother and Anne Morrow died.
He went to extraordinary lengths to keep it all secret. And his methods are only now becoming public.
Cory Hay, one half of the 2 Corys, this actor rose to fame in the 80s with films like The Lost Boys and License to Drive.
Too bad for a kid without his license, huh?
Yet, Haim's all-too-short life was riddled with tragedy. Both Haim and Corey Feldman allegedly endured abuse during their youth.
Nobody still knows the full story except him.
Following Haim's sudden death in 2010, Feldman claimed that his late friend had been abused by a major Hollywood figure during the production of 1986's Lucas. Feldman and fellow actor Dominic Brazia accused Charlie Sheen, who denied these allegations. Haim's mother also asserted that Sheen was innocent, saying it was actually Brazia who had been abusive toward her son. She also accused Feldman of exploiting Haim. Whatever the truth is, Haim sadly left this world with much unresolved.
What is it like to be you?
It's awful. It's empty. It's loneliness. It's not the greatest thing in the world. It's being alone. Who the f wants to be alone?
Billy Tipton. When this jazz musician and bandleader passed away in 1989, the paramedics realized he had been assigned female at birth.
Really, at the moment that Billy passed away and the moment the EMTs ripped his shirt open to try and, keep him alive, was the moment that Billy's story, became something completely different.
This didn't just come as a surprise to the public. Most of his bandmates, romantic partners, and children had no idea that Billy Tipton was transgender until he died.
I have no anger about anything that happened because I understand that his love of something is why he did what he did.
While Tipton never married, he was involved with 5 women who'd go by Mrs. Tipton. Only non-Earl Harrell knew Tipton was trans. He told the other 4 that his body was damaged in a car accident. Tipton had been binding his chest since the 30s when he broke out on the music scene. Tipton's secret is one that many can identify with, showing how trans people have been hidden figures for much of human existence.
There are so few accounts of us having access to history that belongs to us, that is being created by us, that is being curated by us, that allows our voice and our vision to be a part of the process.
Rock Hudson. Mere months before his death, it was confirmed that legendary actor Rock Hudson had been receiving treatment for AIDS.
Hudson died quietly in his sleep this morning at his home in Beverly Hills.
Although Hudson went forward with his diagnosis, he never officially came out to the public. It was something of an open secret in the industry that Hudson was gay. The revelation that Hudson had AIDS only seemed to confirm the rumors.
As you know, Hudson was diagnosed more than 2 years ago. It got very serious about 2 months ago when he checked into UCLA after coming back from France.
His friend, novelist Armistead Maupin, even claimed that he outed Hudson around this time. Amid the press and speculation, though, Hudson remained tight-lipped about his sexual orientation. It wasn't until after Hudson died that the public started seeing his life through a different lens. Hudson hid his double life to protect his career, but his diagnosis and death perhaps left the world more accepting.
I want you to make this a type of place that, well, you would feel comfortable in.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Clark Gable and Loretta Young. In 1935, actress Loretta Young gave birth to her daughter, Judy Lewis. Although she claimed Judy was adopted, people couldn't help but notice a resemblance to Young's Call of the Wild co-star, Clark Gable.
Why, Jack, I never suspected.
The world doesn't understand me. At heart, I'm an artist.
Indeed, Gable was her biological father, but Lewis wouldn't learn this until several years after his death.
I was put into an orphanage, and at 19 months old, my mother announced to the world that she had adopted me, but it was all a smokescreen, and it fooled nobody.
Before he died in 1960, Gable had only met with Lewis once. Lewis briefly told Gable about her life before he left with a kiss on the forehead.
And it wasn't until I was 31 that I finally did ask my mother and did hear the truth from her. But by that time, my father had died.
While Lewis wrote about her parentage, Young still refused to go on the record. Young would confess the truth to her biographer, albeit with a strict stipulation that the book not be published until after her passing. Releasing posthumously, Young's autobiography formally confirmed the secret. Can you think of any other celebrities who died with secrets? Let us know in the comments.
Didn't I tell you?
No.